Good morning and welcome to another day at Biospain 2021, a little international event in the field of biotechnology, which is being held in Pamplona thanks to ASEBio, the government of Navarra, and Sodena. Yesterday, we talked about agro-food bioeconomy, and today, in this track 2, we are going to find out that biotechnology is also a business in itself. So let's start with the first panel, Transforming Knowledge into Innovative Solutions, the key role of VC, the venture capital. This panel is going to be moderated by Ángel Peña. He is a journalist in Actualidad Económica, the Economic Weekly at the daily El Mundo. Let me tell you that we studied together more than 20 years ago, also here in Pamplona.
It's been a while.
It's been a nice surprise to find you more than 20 years later. As I was saying, he's going to moderate this panel in which he's with two persons. Is Clara Campas and Gloria González Asegui Nolaza. Also, there are via live streaming, Luis Pareras and Alain Ourier. Mainly, we have to thanks to the collaborations of ASABIS. So thank you to all of you. Be with us and enjoy it.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to this session. That's really interesting, even fascinating issue about the venture capital and the way it can foster biotechnology. Sometimes it's an issue that is not as in the center of the conversation in biotechnology, but I think that is key. It has a key role as we will know along this conversation that we have here. Because Spain's venture capital investment in biotechnology is growing and a double-digit growth with record investment figures, more players developing a strong local investment ecosystem, and foreign venture capital that sees Spain as a country of some untapped opportunities. Actually, Spain is ranked currently 10th in terms of scientific production, with a leading institution at the forefront of scientific research. These are the good news, so to speak. but then, however, this hasn't always translated into the strong investment figures needed to develop the industry that it should be. So these new technologies and innovation can reach ultimately society in general. So we have some problems there. And then, again, good news during the COVID-19 pandemic that we hopefully are going through. This is an example that maybe we are in the good track, I hope. But during this COVID, the good thing of it, well, if we take the opportunity from the crisis, we have been witnesses of how those collaboration between research institutions, public and private investors, and biotech companies have been the key to develop the first vaccines that we can that allow us to be here, for example. I think so, and for that, the investment from the private sector has been key. I think that and everybody has seen it. So in this session, we will discuss how the technology transfer landscape can improve in Spain, and the key role venture capital must take leading scientific breakthrough into leading companies that create innovative solutions with a high social impact. Okay, so for that, I am very glad to have a very interesting and very significant profiles of this issue that we are discussing here. I have here to my left Clara Campas, is managing partner and co-founder of ASABIS Partner Investment. Then Gloria González Asegui Nolaza. So it's a PhD in biochemistry and molecular biology. And you are specialized on gene therapy, isn't it?
Yeah.
She is also a deputy director at CIMA of the University of Navarra. That's an amazing building that we can see yeah, in a nice walk around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is important, we will see during the conversation. She's the chief scientific officer of Vivet Therapeutics. We will see this very interesting success case in these things that we are talking about, investment.
Yeah.
And okay, and then online, then I want to welcome Luis Paredes, is managing partner and founder of Vivo Ventures Health Equity. Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello. Can you?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Okay. I just wanted to check that the connection is okay. Perfect. Then Alain Uriz. Sorry.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Hello, Alain. Chairman and managing partner of Abend France. Okay. An international investor. Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Nice
So.
to be there.
So I think that we can
start
just with the questions.
First, Gloria, we can start with you, but of course, all of you are. Tengo un retorno. Sorry for the technical issues.
Yeah.
Hola. Hola. Yeah. It's okay.
No.
Ahora. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I would like to hear myself.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's annoying. I like my voice. No, no, it's okay. It's okay. So Gloria, sorry, I was saying it's a question for Gloria, but of course anyone can share the views also, and we're very glad to. And then successful technology transfer stems from a pool of talented people with smart ideas. You know much about that. Supported by the right incentives of investors to help their companies thrive. That's the point here. So Spain generally is as good as the rest of the world in research and innovation. I would say that sometimes it's even surprisingly good about that. We are very smart people now. But there is some personal talent, I think. But that's worse, that's the problem. In Spain, we do worse in terms of technology transfer compared with the United States or the rest of Europe, for example. So the question is, what is the reason for this? So what is needed for big companies to collaborate more with universities to license technology or to create more spin-offs?
Yeah. Well, first, I agree with you that science in Spain is really very potent. We have a lot of talented people and a lot of things that are being developed in academia, which are really promising. I think in Spain what is missing probably is from scientists to know better what the industry is asking for us. So we are very focused on science, but we don't know how to develop products. And we need the guidance of other people, like people working on venture fund, that knows how to develop new products. So I think we still, scientists, we are really reluctant to be guided. We have still the feeling that money is not a good thing for science, while it's the only way to bring products to the patients. And when we work on science, and particularly when we work on science associated to health, we need money to bring these products to the patients, which is at the end of the day our goal. It's not just basic science, that we do it very well, but we need money to develop these products. And for that we need venture fund, but I have to say that also we need not only the money, but the guidance, because what I learned during the last 10 years is that the venture fund has also other expertise that we don't have, and is that they have a wide knowledge of what is needed in health, a wide knowledge also on the particular issues that you need to answer when you need to develop a product. So I believe that just going to the question, we need to understand better how is the interaction between venture fund and science. And although we need to put the science, we also need to be open to be guided on this pathway. So I think there is a good science, but we need to understand better how to develop the products together with somebody else.
Okay, so you want to add something to this answer? I think that is very interesting. That word that you say, guidance, is very interesting just to know, because it's a process, and you need to know the different landmarks that you have to go through.
Yeah, if I may, I think that guidance and capital, it's what
Not
Gloria
just
was
money,
saying.
but
Exactly.
that's it.
But there is another thing. I think that, and Annabelle Sanz summarized it very well yesterday in another roundtable, just saying that we need more dialogue. I think that the open dialogue between the science and the developers, I would say, it's not about private or public only. It's about science and developing or creating companies, right? I think this constant dialogue that is starting to occur also in Spain, thanks to people like the people we have here today, that's really important. I think it's about this dialogue. We will not create one company from each of the dialogues that we might have, right? But I think that the open dialogue helps in putting that together. And also, just to remark that it's not about, okay, we stop science and then start developing. Science needs to continue, and science needs to happen in any case and in parallel to those initiatives. But there are additional activities which have nothing to do with pure basic science that need to be done if you want to bring those science into products, into patients, as Gloria was saying. So I think that's...
In this case, this Congress, for example, is a good example, it's a good opportunity to
Absolutely.
realize that kind of relationship, people talking here, not just here, but all around, It's true, and to share different point of views. Some few words, let's say.
If I may, from the outside.
Luis, yes?
Yes, just wanted to complement what Clara and Gloria were saying. First of all, let me say a big thank to Clara and Gloria and Alain.
Sorry.
Being there, of course, but
We have problems.
We cannot hear you well, Luis.
Just a moment. Just a second. Sorry about these kind of things.
Don't worry. Yes, can you hear me now?
Try now, please, Luis.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Okay, this is a connection problem. They tell me. Okay, but just try, please, Luis.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
I think, Luis, we cannot hear you well due to the microphone or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. It was working very well before, but let's see. Can you hear me now?
No, sorry. Sorry, Luis. You are connected by a wire or
No, it's just the same as usual. Maybe
you are coming and going, so we can't hear you. I'm afraid. Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We are going to try to fix this. Meanwhile, we're going to go on and go on with the conversation. Okay. No, sorry, Luis. Okay, the next question, also for Gloria, but of course, this format of jumping into the conversation, it's a very interesting way. Can we say that the expectation of academics exploiting their ideas, either partnering with the industry or creating spin-off companies, is lower in Europe than in Asia or the US, for example? And why is that happening? That's feeling that we have here the whole continent?
I have experience both in Europe and in the States. I don't have experience in Asia. What I see is that the numbers of private investors in Europe comparing to the States is lower, and the amount of money they have in the States is
Yeah.
10 times, 100 times. I mean, when you talk to them, it's amazing. I mean, when they start talking about money, it's like
Yeah, the context.
always, more zeros.
Yeah.
So I think we are getting there. I mean, what I'm seeing is that they are more and more, even in Spain, that was maybe behind other countries. Now, I think we are at the same level that other countries in Europe, but Europe in general is behind the States. And I think this is quite clear.
Okay. And this is about money, of course. That's
It's
that's a
about
problem.
money, yeah.
But maybe something about culture.
Yes,
maybe?
culture. Yeah,
Think,
the Anglo-Saxon culture is more open to investors and more open to mix science and money, which here
Yeah.
it was like completely separate.
Yeah, split.
In fact, a little bit not well seen when you are starting talking about investors and science. It was not very well
The academic
accepted.
realm, for example, the academic realm there is like flowing in the same
Yes,
direction than
yes,
companies
yes.
there is.
But
But
it's
you are
changing.
optimistic
It's changing.
that's coming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
If I may, I think that it's already here. I mean, it's not
Now,
about that it's coming. We have lots of examples of companies
coming
that have
more
been
intense,
spin-off from the academia and research centers. Thanks to many investors, the local ones and the ones like Advent France and others that are just coming to invest very early stage in our companies. And I think that the fact that you have examples, the fact that we can name today several companies
Yes.
that have been created in the last several years and are doing really, really well globally. Okay. So I think that's key, right? So when other investigators, when other researchers see how these other researchers have created their own companies, the fact that not always there's a need for this PI to become a CEO of a company that he or she is founding, that there are other teams specialized that can do that, and he or she can continue the research or be involved in a different way, right? So I think that's here, and the higher we speak and the more we speak about these examples, I believe that this culture is already started to change, and it's not seen like the dark side of that, but something that can really push, or probably the only way to push those knowledge into products, right?
Sure. Yeah. Nice and very nice introduction also.
Angel?
And then he said,
Angel,
yeah, tell me, yeah.
I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can hear you. Yeah, perfectly. Actually,
Okay,
I
so
have yeah. Tell me.
Okay, so thank you. I hope it will work. So actually, this is an interesting topic that you have just raised, and if I may, can John explain that actually 10 years ago I joined Advent in London, so very much involved in investment in the United States and in UK, and I've been able to make the comparison between what has just been said between the Anglo-Saxon way to transform innovation and being a French person, what was going on in France, for example. And I think we were talking about a kind of difference between the commercial transformation of innovation in continental Europe. I mean, Spain is not isolated. I think France is also behind very much the Anglo-Saxon world in terms of transforming the innovation. So, I mean, this is also why we started to operate in Paris, and we are also now operating more and more in Spain, for example. We are strong believer that there is a great science in countries like Spain or France, top innovations, but still difficulties to do the commercial transformation in a way to develop innovation into drugs, for example, or medical device that could fulfill with the industry requirements. So I think this is part of the role of early stage VCs. I would say even more than business angels and friends and family, because somehow with an experience like the people, my colleagues here, we are also bringing some operational experience, and I think it helps very much in guiding the science into a full transformation. So I totally agree with what has just been said, actually.
Yeah, thank you, Alan. And maybe I'd like you to show us in a more specific way, so to speak, examples of the work or your company investing in Spanish companies, and what do you see? What are you looking for in Spanish companies and Spanish research and development? What specific things do you think that we are, I don't know, interesting?
Yeah, I think so. First of all, we had excellent relationship, and we have had several meetings with research institution and tech transfer offices in Spain. Very nice and very professional people, as well as local investors with which we have already worked together, such as in Vivo, for example. We have invested together in one company in Valencia, and we may well announce one or two other deals together. So I think this is first the professionalism of the local players, as well as the quality of the science. And as always, we try to invest in breakthrough innovation, something that will fulfill an unmet medical need. And for example, our first investment in Artex in Valencia, this is in myotonic dystrophy, which is the most common rare disease in adult. It's a muscle disease, genetic disease, and I think this is a world-class team, world-class center of excellence. So I mean, we are investing in top innovation, and I think Spain has a lot of PI and top quality scientists. So this is exactly what we are looking for, and we open also an office in Barcelona to continue our presence and strengthen our presence here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Luis?
we can hear you.
Excellent.
It's,
I'm sorry for the
Luis talking?
problems.
Yes.
Yeah,
Where are you? Ah, there.
just
Okay, okay.
just
There you are.
on
Welcome again.
on what everyone. Yeah. Hello.
Okay,
Just to
perfect,
what
perfect,
everyone
perfect.
is saying.
So,
Just to say that the challenge as well is to find the right leadership in these companies. I mean, the potential for science is excellent, but the challenge is to find the right leadership, the right CEOs, because let's remember that we don't invest in science; we invest in the execution of science. Can you hear me? Because I see the pictures now.
but sorry, Luis, it's impossible. So
Okay, then.
it's
Yeah.
such a pity, but I'm afraid.
It must be.
I'll try to fix it, and otherwise,
Now
Now
you're,
it's,
it's clear.
yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, we're saying that the challenge is precisely to find as well the right leadership for those
No,
companies.
no,
Because
again, you are fading again. You're,
okay.
oh, sorry, Luis, but well, we'll try later, okay? Okay,
Okay.
sorry about that. So I think that we can go with the case of Asabis now, Clara, if you want, and then we'll try again after, okay, your turn. So sorry about that, Luis. So in the case of Asabis, you have been involved in the creation of ONA, example, in brain and recently Nuage Therapeutics. I don't know if I say it properly. Yeah. Which are the key aspects of that you prioritize when creating a new company in Spain?
I think that, we would prioritize the same things in Spain that in any other territory, right? But when I think it's about these three examples, Zona, InBrain, and now Nuage Therapeutics. Probably Alan is the one that can pronounce Nuage in the best way, right? So I think that what you need to do is to understand and to first there needs to be a disruptive science there, something that makes really sense, that will change patient outcomes, that will change the way we do things in medicine. First this. Second, to understand how, if, and if the answer is yes, how can you transform that into a company that can bring products to patients and to market? And then to understand what is the strategy of the company, right? I think that there are different players in the sector, and I think it's very good that we start having additional players than VCs. We have accelerators, we have, of course, the tech transfer offices, but VCs, I think that is key that some of us start working with these projects and research projects really early. Probably from all the players, VCs are the ones that have a longer-term view in terms of what needs to be done with this project to create a good company, not only to exit when it's needed, but also to make sure that all the resources are there. And which is the amount of the resources, what do you need, the type of team, the IP strategy. You know, what we can do as VCs is to not only to define a patent, that's what a tech transfer office is, but to define what should be the patent strategy of that company, right? And then just put it in a way that makes sense, that does not cannibalize what needs to be next steps, et cetera, et cetera. So in the case of the three companies, it's about dimensioning, putting together the strategy as a whole, dimensioning then the cash needs of that company and structuring those cash needs in terms of value inflection points, and to define what would the company need in terms of investment, right? Syndicating with the appropriate partners, because other VCs, again, that do not only bring capital, it's also about the type of talent and previous experience that you bring to the company, as well as the team. Of course, the scientific founders need to be there for as long as possible and in the best way. But also you need to bring additional talent that has this more industry know-how or driven that probably is not there in the academia or in the scientific part, right? So in companies like the very recently created Nuage Therapeutics, that's what we are doing. We're just putting together this strategy. In fact, when we started conversations with the IRB Barcelona, which is the originating center of this company, it was November last year. So since November until July, September, that we just incorporated the company and created it, many things happened. Yeah. One of those, for example, is that we have another scientific founder that was not there at the very beginning, right, coming from the Max Planck Institute. And this has been thanks to this dialogue, open dialogue that we just had, and just to understand what the company
is. Always open, because a lot of things are happening all the time. Yeah.
And that's what I was saying, that this is doable. I mean, this is still happening, right? We helped in incorporating Ona Therapeutics in May 2019. And 1 year later, and in the middle of the whole pandemic, we fundraised 30 million euros for that company, because that's what the company needed to bring their product into the first in human patients with sufficient cancer patients to see efficacy and change in patient outcomes, right?
So pay attention to a specific moment, specific necessities.
Exactly. I think that understanding the company.
The whole company, the strategy, both things.
Exactly. Yeah. And you cannot replicate the whole model for each company or each, because the strategy will be different. So I think that this dialogue and alignment is something that is absolutely, and see a little bit mid-long term, not only the tech transfer agreement. I mean, the tech transfer agreement is very important, but it's just one step of the whole thing that needs to be done. Needs to be done properly, because if not, you are cannibalizing next steps, right? But,
yeah, sure. Thank you, very interesting. And then Gloria, maybe you can say something about this successful story. I think that I can call it that way. That is Vivet, from the lab to the company that it is right now. That is a very, I would say, even fascinating because I am very linked to Pamplona also, and it's very interesting how something so. I think that it will be big in the future and very interesting. Can you comment on the importance of venture capital support to do this and that thing, and your experience in the process of building this thing? Yeah.
We have a lot of experience. I mean, the company Vivet Therapeutics is a company on gene therapy for liver inherited diseases. And we have a lot of experience on gene therapy. I mean, we have been working on gene therapy for more than 20 years. And always with a public funding, no? Grants, European grants, national grants. And you are able to develop a treatment, but once you have your product, you don't know what to do with that product because you need so much money to do all the regulatory issue, all the IND enable studies and market studies and identifying patients, identifying leaders all over the world because we work with rare diseases. And it's when we start our contact with Javier García Cogorro, which is a venture fund and a leader venture fund in Spain, Columbus. And one of the first things I learned from him is listen to the people. I mean, when you have a meeting with a different venture fund, just listen. Because it's how you are going to be able to progress. I mean, and you are going to learn how to do things. And it was key. I mean, I have been talking to many venture funds, and I said here and in the States, and none of them already has invest on Vivet. But I learn a lot, and many times it's like when they ask you a question, try to answer that question, no? Because it's the thing that is going to make you advance in the correct way. So they decide to invest after answering many questions. They decide to invest together with other venture funds. I mean, they make a syndicate and they create Vivet Therapeutics. And another important thing, and is something that we have been already talking about, they put the correct person in the correct position in the company. I mean, I know about science, but I have no idea on how to develop really a product. I mean, all regulatory people, project managing, protection, IP issues. They bring all the correct people to make this company a reality.
Yeah,
And
but
now,
you're familiar with those terms now.
yeah. This is
Because you
it's
listen.
completely different language, and you are there. You listen. You really get used to those terms, but I'm not. I mean, I have no the background to do that. No, so it was a very nice history of success. And in fact, we are there. We are in the phase 1/2 clinical trial with a product that we start developing here, just 5 kilometers far. It was a very nice history because all the people that was key was together, working together.
Public and private sector, venture capital, science. Yeah, it's a very nice story. Luis, hello. You can
Yes.
try again.
I'm trying now with a microphone. Let's see if you can hear me better.
Perfect. Now I think that we are there.
Now it's working. I'm so sorry. Let me start by giving a big hug to Clara, Gloria, and Elaine because it's a pity not being there, all four of us. But and just to complement on what everybody was saying, I think there's a challenge yet in our country, which is finding the right leadership for the companies, the right CEOs, and bringing talent into the company. There's room for improvement there, but technology transfer offices are the job at trying to to help with that. For us, it's always about science and about this wow slide that was the promise of the drug, about the team, of course, and about the clinical need and how easy it is to demonstrate what we're trying to demonstrate, right? So that these are the key things that, as venture capitalists, we are looking into the companies, right? And this as well, I mean, I think Gloria mentioned something about this gap analysis. I think a good effort should be made as well in trying to do a better gap analysis and anticipating the problems that the companies will face in the development stage, right? So, but we were commenting with Alain because we were in the backstage before, and as he has said, we had one co-investment together, and we're announcing very, very soon, I hope, a couple more. But it is really a privilege for all four of us here at the table to be in this industry, being surrounded by such great scientists and great ideas and willing to solve real problems from patients, right? So, yeah.
And if you want to think that we can start like the last question, that is also the opportunity to have some conclusions on the conversation. The question is very open, of course. That is, in what areas Spain is unique or more competitive than other countries, and how can we exploit that? If you want to start, Luis?
Yeah, sorry, the sound, yeah. Can you repeat the question?
Areas that Spain is unique or more competitive than other countries. What do we have that is so special? No, could be useful, yeah.
We do have a great ecosystem and great hospitals and great research centers. And, you know, I mean, I think we do have a lot of opportunity, but more companies, I mean, I'm very Darwinian in essence, right? So we don't need to be investing our time in all companies and all science, but instead let them, some of them need to die. And I believe in Darwinism here. And so scary. That's, I know, yeah, that's a bit scary, I know, but I think it's very important to focus on the best projects, you know. So if Spain can focus on the best science that we have, I think we have a great future, yeah.
But maybe in Spain, I say, I don't know if you agree, we are very conservative sometimes, and then we fear too much about this life quick and you know, die soon. This kind of thing of Darwinism is scaring us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we need to be more ambitious in the areas that we pursue, because doing Me Too's, for example, is not the right way of moving forward, right? So we need to find, for example, there's a very big field now in Spain, which is synthetic biology. There are great scientists in the field. Out of our 7 investments in this second fund, 3 of them are in the field of synthetic biology. And we're going to announce very soon another one. And I think Spain has strong leadership in that field. And that's a field that's coming in the future, yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Luis. Alain, what do you think?
Yes. I think Spain has an excellent translational research. And in my previous life, when I was CEO of a biotech company, I worked with Hospital Clinic and UB in Barcelona on several translational programs. So I was very impressed by the quality of the research and the translation into clinic. So I think this is a strong point. And of course, as Luis has just said, synthetic biology, also the gene therapy. There are some key elements that have to be financed and supported. So really, I think this is this is for me the main point for Spain.
Okay. Clara, Gloria?
You go first.
Well, as I said at the beginning, science in Spain is excellent. I mean, I'm also in the evaluation of many grants from the ministry, and I can see the science in Spain directly.
Yeah.
So science is excellent in Spain. I think from my experience, what you need is the support from the institutions to bring that science. Always to the patient, because I think is what we have to go. But in my case, I mean, I was a privileged person when I compare myself with other scientists in Spain, because I have the support from my institution from the beginning. I mean, in fact, they even push me. I have to say that when we have as director Jesus Hernandez, who was coming already from Ligi, so he has this different way of thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really a little bit pushed. No, don't be shy.
Yeah,
No,
to take risks.
yeah, take the risk. Take the risk. No.
To there, yeah.
Yeah, and I think and also the freedom, no, to go to participate in the creation of a company. I mean, the university and CIMA and our tech transfer. I mean, it's so easy to work with our tech transfer. I mean, they make things so easy for venture funds, and that I think we have already the science in different fields, but we need the support from our institution. Like, don't be shy, try it. You can, I mean, you can fail. This is not the problem. I mean, not everything reach the clinic. This is something that the venture fund already knows. So try it, and I think, yeah, I have to thanks the support from my institution, because it was key.
I think that's key, to be comfortable with the idea of failure. Yeah, that sometimes is something that in Spain we have some problems, and then the institution can help and
A lot.
Yeah.
And just going back to your question on what is Spain excellent on, right? And how can we exploit it? And I fully agree. We do have excellent science. That's clear, and I think that's very well understood. And that's seen on how Spain is able to capture European grants, competitive grants, etc. Right? But another field where I feel that Spain is really excellent is in clinical research. I think that we do have hospitals and clinicians that do excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, the health system, but in particular clinical trials. I think that there are many good specialists in very different therapeutic areas that participate in big clinical trials of the biggest pharma companies, and we are not only good at recruiting, but also at performing those clinical trials in a very good way. Some of those clinicians are also part of the advisory boards of these big pharma companies or big medtech companies or other type of technologies, right? So I think that if we could use a little bit more these talented people and how they see patients, how they see the market, how they see competitors, how they see the trends of the industry, and we could bring them a little bit closer, and probably something that you can do at CIMA and other places, but not everywhere, right? Yeah. If you can bring them closer to basic research, to those startups, to those R&D projects, I think the connection of those would probably, and that happens in other places, and Marisol Quintero was explaining yesterday very well. I think that we could explore it a bit more, and using this knowledge and make those people participate to startups or to non-clinical, preclinical companies, and it will be beneficious for everyone, I think. So, but here we are, just to try to make those things happen.
Yeah, it's an exciting moment, I think, because what you all say, we have the stuff, we have the material, but maybe we need to learn to put everything together. That's the thing, but we are doing it in a way, so we are here talking about it. And I think that there is a promising future here for the industry in Spain, that we have good scientific, as you say, but we need more industry. Maybe that is the whole thing. Okay, so great. So just to finalize, what you want to add something?
No, she was saying that we have to finish.
Oh, so sorry. Okay, so we are done. So we have time for questions. Just some questions in the audience. Very short. Okay, we don't have. Even better. I'm afraid. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Time. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
all of you, for this interesting panel. We have a small break now. We'll be back at 10 o'clock, so I'll be waiting for you. Thank you.
Thank you.